Being said that I'm going to be on TMZ tomorrow from an altercation that happened with me and Nina. So just want to get just want to get ahead of it. And I mean, it's really not anybody's business. It's pissing me off that it got out, but it's the world we live in today. But instead of talking about us, just keep us in your prayers. And stuff like this happens, bro. We try to live the best lives we possibly can, but sometimes it don't go as planned. We're very sorry for us. I'm seeing my kids, so just keep us in your prayers.
What's going on, everyone? I am Jaye Black. Shout out to everybody that's tuning in. I'm probably going to have a video clip of Earl Thomas at the beginning of this video because it's going to give you insight into what you're going to hear from me. Now, according to Twitter and also this TMZ article that I'm looking at, Earl Thomas went viral. I'll probably post this the next day. So late last night, he went viral because it was posted by TMZ that his wife, the mother of his kids, held him at point range with a weapon, because she caught him and his brother knocking down a female. Now, y'all got to understand, this happened in April. So I believe the majority of the country was going through a lockdown. So you got to ask yourself, if you're quarantining, how you knocking down a chick unless you were at some hotel or you was at a friend's house, your brother's house. I don't know. We going to get into this article. This is some insanity. Okay. It says NFL star Earl Thomas is lucky to be alive after cops say his wife held a loaded weapon less than a foot from his head. Wow. After she allegedly caught him with another woman. It's all spelled out in court documents obtained by TMZ, detailing a violent April 13th altercation involving the Baltimore Ravens player Nina Thomas and several others. The Austin Police Department responded to a home in Austin, Texas area at about 3:41 a.m. after getting a call about a disturbance. When cops arrived, they say, "We observed that a black female wearing an orange sweater with a knife in her hand, later identified as Nina Thomas, was chasing a shirtless black male." Oh my God. Later identified as Earl Thomas, with a pistol in his hand around a car. This is craziness. This is absolute craziness. Cops drew their weapons and ordered both Nina and Earl to the ground, and they both complied without incident. That's when the investigation began and things got wild. Here's Nina's story, according to court docs. Nina claimed Earl Thomas, who's 30, left their home earlier in the day after an argument over the NFL players drinking. She claims that Earl's brother Seth picked him up, but a short time later, she decided to check on his whereabouts by logging into his Snapchat account. So you mean to tell me the Snapchat got you caught up, Earl? Jeez. And that's when she says she found a video of Earl with another woman. Nina says she used Earl's Snapchat account to track his location to a nearby Airbnb rental home, and says she called up 2 other women to help her confront Earl at the pad. This is premeditated. If you're bringing people to this location, you were ready for a confrontation. Not saying that you wanted to do some bodily harm to him, but you were ready to do damage, okay? Nina says she used Earl's Snapchat account to track his location to a nearby Airbnb rental, okay? Nina also claims she grabbed Earl's pistol. Oh, God. 9mm Beretta. Jesus. In the process with the intention to scare him. This is where I'm gonna have to sit and talk to a lot of you women, man. Especially black women, because in this article, they specifically are talking about a quote unquote black woman. Why are you taking this weapon with you to confront your husband because he's with another woman? Can anybody explain this to me? Why do women like this think they are above the law? In some places, it's illegal to have weapons that are not registered. You can get caught up. She has to know that if you're taking that, which why I said this again, this is premeditated, then you have to know that you're going to show it. You're that upset that he's with another woman that you're going to do this. How about you just don't deal with him? How about you just leave him? Why do these females have to confront these men? And this just shows you that how she feels about this guy, because she's not sad, she's mad. She's ready to confront. Y'all got to understand, this is, the quarantine had been going on for probably a good, week or so, 2 weeks. I say about 2 or 3 weeks up until that point. So she was probably going a little stir crazy. He going crazy. This is why he's renting Airbnbs to, bring his side chicks over there. But why do you need to scare him by doing that? How about you just not deal with him anymore? How about you call him and tell him it's over? Why do you need to go this length? She brought her friends over there. She got the weapon over there, his weapon. Because you're upset he's with another woman? But you can get yourself caught up. And he could, and somebody could have really left this world because of her ignorance, and because of her being over emotional. She could have done something that could have ruined her life, his life, and them kids' life. But she wasn't thinking about that. She was just thinking about getting revenge. When the women arrived at the house, they discovered that Earl and Seth were both in the nude, in the bed with other women. All y'all in one bed? Jeez. That's when Nina admits she pulled the weapon out and put it to Earl's head, stating that she took out the magazine thinking that it could not fire, right? But cops say that Nina was unaware that it still had a round in the chamber, which I told y'all, these chicks know nothing about the thing. No, a lot of them know nothing about, these weapons that they come into contact with. They don't understand them. They don't, even in movies, they tell you that there's always one left in the chamber, but she didn't know that because she was too emotional to understand that. How about you don't bring it there, period? How about that? There's no excuse for this. None. Because again, something could have went wrong. And it was lucky that he was able to wrestle. We're going to get into the article, but I'm assuming he got it from her. Cops say that one of the women in the house shot cell phone video of the incident, which they say shows Nina pointing it at Earl's head from less than a foot away, and it can clearly be seen that Nina's finger is on the trigger and the safety is disengaged. But she didn't know, she didn't have any magazine in it. Oh my God. This is wild, man. I'm reading this and I'm still a little bit taken aback by this. This is some of the wildest stuff I've seen in quite some time. Even though I've heard some stories, this chick literally was putting it to us. Like, what would make you as a woman? Because that lets you know that Earl has probably done this before, but she hasn't caught him like this. What would make her do that? Well, because let's say she would have squeezed the trigger and you didn't know what was in it, and then something bad would have happened. there still would have been people who would have been saying that this woman is the victim. No, she is not. She lost her victim status in this situation when she decided to meet up with her girlfriends and bring his 9 to the situation. Fortunately for Earl, cops say the Ravens defensive back was able to wrestle it away from her. Cops say the cell phone video also shows Nina striking Earl in the nose before it ends. Cops also spoke with Earl, who essentially corroborated the story, adding that Nina repeatedly hit him while he attempted to take it away from her. So she was basically pistol whipping him. In an interview with Earl's alleged mistress at the scene, she claimed that Nina also threatened her and other women in the house, pointing it at them and yelling, "I got something for all you hoes." The woman claims one of Nina's other friends was carrying a knife and swinging it aggressively during the altercation. Oh, jeez, these chicks don't watch too many. I say they watch, they haven't watched enough movies, but they don't watch too much of these Waiting to Exhale or some of these other, chick flick films that all about getting revenge on your husband. They've watched too many of those. But this is real life, and you can tell these chicks are just quite crazy. I mean, look at Earl Thomas's wife's mugshot. I mean, she looks crazy, man. I mean, not crazy as in like weird crazy. It's almost like very calm. Like there's no distress on her face. Like you would think that this would be traumatic experience, but it isn't. You know why? Because she's probably done crazy things like this before, and he stayed with her. I believe he's had episodes with her before. And that lets you know that this relationship was probably very toxic. After speaking with everyone, cops ultimately arrested Nina and both members of her posse. Nina was booked for burglary of a residence with the intent to commit assault with a deadly weapon, family violence, and later bonded out. Earl was not arrested. I don't think he should have been arrested. What is he going to be arrested for? Court records show Nina was also hit with an emergency protection order requiring her to stay 200 yards away from Earl and his alleged mistress, who may end up being his new girlfriend if she's not already. Because y'all gotta understand, this happened in early April, and I think they're still separated. But according to Earl's video, they're on speaking terms again. He's seeing his kids, which I'm trying to figure out why the kids are with her. She's the violent one. Why are the kids with her? That doesn't make any sense to me. As a previous reported, Nina and Earl were married in an extravagant wedding back in April of 2016. Russell Wilson and Sierra even attended the ceremony. So they haven't even been married that long. They've been married since 2016. So they've been married for about 4 years. And you see where things are. I seen some dudes on Twitter trying to, thirsting after her. Like, you got this at home. Why would you go and deal with other women? And you got to understand, he's probably dealing with a woman who emotionally is probably very not there. And I'm not making excuses for Earl, but what I'm saying is he's probably dealing with a woman who she probably not the same ever since she got that ring. Ever since she got that ring, she wasn't the same. She changed, But I think it's up to Earl to figure out where he wants to go in that situation. I think that he posted the video that he did to get in front of it. But bro, I think he was already in a toxic relationship. I think he might have fell for her, for one or two reasons. Maybe y'all can figure it out. And, he has, kids with her, and he wanted to make it work. He wanted to make an honest woman out of her, but she just ended up making herself look bad and making him look bad. I think she made herself look crazy, and he made himself look bad by staying in the situation, not staying in the situation, but marrying somebody that I feel like I think they've had a toxic relationship, but because she's the mother of his kids, He wanted to ride it out. But what he has to understand is sometimes you have to get away from people like this. I think the signs were already there. Look at the whole premeditation of everything she did. Getting through the Snapchat account, calling up her friends, assembling the accessories. It's almost like she knew what she was gonna do before she did it. Does that seem like a person you want to be married to? I told y'all the quarantine was gonna claim marriages and relationships.